Get on in. I was gonna say, I guess Ken will give us someone will give us the cue if once we're actually on. I was gonna say, can you pull it up on the? I was gonna say, I don't want to watch myself while I'm printing it here. Right, right. Yeah. To the sign, okay. Yeah, yeah.
What are the comments?
So normally
Underneath all this. This is so weird.
Okay, guys, make sure mics are up and the camera's on.
All right.
Okay.
Cameras.
Cameras.
Are they on though?
Yep.
Everything's running.
Mics are up. Cameras are on.
I was gonna say I'm mic'd up. That
Yep.
one's on. All right.
Which one? That day we cannot hear you.
You can't hear me.
Let's take a look.
I'm turned on.
Yeah, you're on. Let's check the receiver.
Okay.
Check the receiver.
We've got audio coming in.
Oh, that strip of film that we were gonna print
Yeah.
with, is it still?
Yep, it's still right over
It's
here.
still in there?
Yep.
Okay. Just making sure. Check, 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 check. Is it on the right group and channel? Group B, channel 1? Yep. There we go. Okay.
Cool.
All right. Yeah, here we go. Now
Whoa.
looks like we're in there. So.
Pretty meta. Okay.
Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah.
See,
How do we access the chat?
I know, that's really the only reason this is up here.
Right.
Is so we can interact with you guys. I see likes. I wonder.
If maybe, is there a window? What's it saying there?
Yes. No, that's just more videos, I think. Descriptions.
All right, here, let me.
Oh, there we are.
Yeah, we're in there.
I wonder.
It's so hard to see right there. Should I let people know what we're doing?
Yes, definitely.
So right now we are currently live. We're here in the dark room, but we're trying to figure out how to pull up the chat here on the iPad. We have basically turn the iPad into a safe light, so that way we can safely read the chat as we're here in the dark room. It's not going to affect any of the paper. And we've got a few different angles here. To be completely honest, I was expecting something much more simple whenever I got here, and then we've got like a pretty awesome setup here. So, are we?
I'm not seeing anything here.
Yeah, I'm not sure why it's not pulling the chat up.
I know everything else I've seen has chat. I wonder if it's because.
Do you have the YouTube app by chance?
I think I might. Here.
That might be the best way to pull the chat up rather than going through the browser.
Got it.
We'll have to check.
Well, this is cool. Well,
I guess in the meantime, I could kind of check the chat on my phone since we're not.
Yeah, actually, here.
You know.
What? Let's just do that on the phone if that's all right with you.
Yeah,
So we
absolutely.
can. Yeah, we have an Insta Safe Light wherever we go.
All right, so let me pull up the chat on my phone.
And this should still work with capacitive touch.
Okay.
Your audio is sounding very digital, and I'm not sure why.
Okay, yeah, I'm seeing in the chat now. People are saying the microphone, they can hear big reverb on me.
Yeah, it's got a lot of bounce back. So.
I wonder if cut the fan maybe. We'll see if that makes a difference.
And then worst case, we'll just have you guys swap.
Switch mics, that's fine.
Okay. Yeah, they said the sound is super low. Yeah. Can't hear you guys. Yeah, it looks like there's pretty decent amount
pretty quiet.
I was gonna say, yeah. Sounds a little bit better.
Oh, that's me. You're good. I'm bad.
There, yeah.
Well, then I'll just cut myself.
Okay. So, because it'll probably pick up enough if I'm wearing the mic.
Sorry,
you know what I mean?
Just leaning in
Right. Yeah. You just gotta lean.
That's fine. Cool.
All right. Cool.
All right. Hey, we should let people know where we're at.
Yeah. So we are here at Midwest Photo. We're in Columbus, Ohio, and I guess we could turn that audio down so that way we don't. Oh, yep. No. Right.
Let me near tech.
Right. Right there.
All right.
Perfect. Well, yeah. Now we can actually see that perfectly on there.
Let's see it. It's safe.
So yeah, we are here at Midwest Photo. They have a darkroom space here that you can come in at a pretty regular.
Oh, super cheap. We're the second cheapest darkroom in the nation.
Boom. There you go. We are going to be kind of just making some prints. Ken and Matt here. This is Matt Marrash. I actually took a workshop of Matt's many years ago on large format.
Gosh, what was that? 2011?
2011, 2012, I think.
Gosh,
Yeah,
so
a long time ago. And so we're going to be in here in the darkroom. I'm going to make a couple of prints. I think primarily, at least the first one I know, something from the Mamiya 6. That's what I've been shooting with a lot lately. So I brought some negatives, some Ilford Delta 3200 that we're going to be printing, which it's honestly been probably almost 3 years since I've printed in the darkroom.
Oh,
so
nice.
it's been quite a while. And I think at that point I had shot 3200 before, but I hadn't printed it in the darkroom. So this should be fun to kind of try this out. And the whole kind of idea behind this, Matt has MacGyvered this darkroom setup so that we've got a camera angle right here in front of the enlarger, one up here that gets kind of a wide view of everything, as well as another camera directly over the tray where we're going to be developing the print, so you'll be able to kind of see in real time as it's going through the bath. So this is pretty awesome. I've never seen a live darkroom stream before, so
I had a dream like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Where I was like, why hasn't somebody done this yet?
Yeah.
I learned today why somebody hasn't done this yet. It's very difficult.
I was gonna say we've had a few hiccups trying to get the stream going and making sure everything is connected, but this is way above my skill set, so I'm glad you guys have handled
That's
all
great.
this stuff.
Well, I have your strip of negatives here, Matt.
Yeah.
You're not making it easy on me. 3200. This is going to be fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe we can even bring it over to this camera here so folks can get a closer look. But this is some Delta 3200.
Yeah.
Over here, and actually, I don't know anything else about what's on the film. Maybe I can give it to you.
No. So these are, I actually shot a lot of these photos simultaneously with Lomo 800 as well in my Pentax 6.7, and I had the Mamiya 6 loaded with Delta 3200, and it's literally just a quick little drive around my house.
Nice.
It was like golden hour one night, and I just went for a drive to shoot some photos, and there's one in particular, I think it's this one right here.
Nice,
yeah, frame 11, I think that's the one, or no.
Is that 9?
Wait, what is this? 6, 8, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I think that's the one you're
I think this one right here looks like it has the most detail. I kind of bracketed these two. I think this one here is probably going to be our best bet. So
that sleeve looks familiar. Where'd you get those done?
Yeah. So this film was all processed at the Darkroom in San Clemente. I have gotten lazy. The more that I've been shooting lately, I've just, with my schedule, I've just been sending everything to the Darkroom. And so whenever they send everything back, they send it all uncut. You can do that as an option. So I just have them send everything back just as one, the whole rolls together. That way I can kind of cut it and archive it based on my own sleeves. But I've gotten pretty bad about archiving things recently because I've been so busy. So how would you prefer with this particular enlarger? Do you want me to cut just that negative, or do you want me to cut it into strips of 3?
You know, since we're using the big Bessler today, this is a Bessler 45 VXL, and we're running just like a standard plate holder here.
Okay.
I would say give it more than the actual negative itself. This has a little more area here to hold it down.
Okay.
And probably 3 or 4 is fine. So if you're scanning on like the Epson, just do 3 of them.
Yeah.
All right, we've already got some questions coming in.
Yeah. Let's read. Yeah, let's hear what people are saying.
All right. So we have Ariston. and Ambrose Cintros. Let's compare their dodge and burn tools. Oh,
yeah, there you go. We were just talking about that.
We have some folks going way above and beyond just like the printing side. So there are some old school tools you can use to dodge and burn. And
yeah.
We have some really, really advanced stuff.
High-end stuff here, premium materials.
This coffee stirrer with a cap and some tape. I call this a lollipop. This allows us to dodge in a selected area. And much like an excited frat boy never throws out a bottle of booze, I never throw out my film boxes and my paper boxes. And that little hole right there, that's our handy-dandy burn tool.
There we go. Golden. Yeah, let's do... So I want to do this one right here, actually.
Yeah. Hold this up to the
I was gonna say, see what you think there.
Yeah, I would say you have a little bit more even density.
Yeah.
In, is that 12 or 13? Whatever.
Yeah.
But these are all super low contrast.
Yeah.
You're going to be able to
really
work it, and the multi-grade filters for our enlarger is right there.
Yep.
And we're going to need it because this is a condenser enlarger.
Yeah.
Condenser enlargers are notoriously sharp and show all the dust, so
your
dust off tools.
Gonna be dusting everything. Absolutely.
Yep. Cool.
All right. Well, do
you want some gloves?
I was gonna say, yeah, I'll go ahead and get some gloves on, get an apron on as well, just to make sure we're good to go.
Awesome.
So let me suit up here. You know, I'll be honest, I was always pretty bad about that with my own home darkroom. I never had a dedicated apron. I would just grab an old clothing to wear, and you know,
it's like painter's clothes.
Yeah.
There's more holes in really weird areas by your stomach and by your crotch. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Here we go.
Cool.
It's like MacGyver. Yes.
Exactly. See? Yeah, you got to be able to kind of rig some stuff together from time to time.
Very cool. Somebody had a tech question about the cameras. We're running Sling Studio.
Yeah,
we
this.
have a 4-camera setup.
That's all
crazy.
you. Yeah, I've done very little live streaming. I've done, you know, I do like live streams through Patreon every month,
cool.
and that's all done just with my built-in MacBook camera. So seeing this whole setup and workflow is very, very new to me for sure. All right, so got the negative here. So yeah, we're gonna go for that middle one.
Definitely.
Right there. All right.
And like most things we do in the black and white darkroom for printing, we're going to put these in shiny side up, which means we're getting the emulsion side closer to the emulsion side of the paper we're going to be printing on.
Is that so that will that make a difference in terms of the quality of the print if it were flipped, or is it?
It could change minute amounts of focus, and sometimes about flipping your negative if it's flipped the wrong way. Sometimes you can suffer from Newton rings depending on if you have it close, but I always like shiny side. That's how I teach folks. It's how you load the camera, it's how you load the enlarger.
Right.
So, man, you know what I'm really curious to know? How many folks in the chat here are printers? Like, how many folks have printed in the black and white darkroom? If you haven't, hit us up with questions. This is the time. This is
literally the perfect time, so people can ask real time, because, you know, I still get a lot of questions about printing in general. People ask questions about the darkroom, and they'll see older videos where at home I had my darkroom set up.
Yeah, they just assume you still have it.
And they assume I still have it. Yeah. And anybody who knows me, especially when it comes to cameras, I could have a camera and do a review on it, and the next week I'm shooting something different. You know what I mean? So the darkroom I haven't actually had set up in my house for several years now. And so I get questions all the time, and I would like to do more videos like that, but I don't really have the space for it anymore like I used to. 2 kids will do that to you. So having, you know, the chance to do this in a live stream, I mean, that's, you know, this is perfect. So anybody who has questions about printing, anything at all, now is clearly the best time. And Matt, you've been, I mean, how long have you been regularly printing in the darkroom?
The last decade.
Yeah.
I haven't printed the big stuff in a while, but I have this place to.
I was gonna say so Matt works here. I don't know if we mentioned that earlier or not, but you clearly have access to everything here.
Yes, it's a nice perk for folks that, you know, ever want to rent this place out. You can go to our Learning Studio website, mpex.com/learn. Just pull the bar. It's a little
that one. Okay.
Piece, you know. Just pop that guy in and hold that tight until we gotta
upside.
Flip this guy. Yep.
Okay.
Clicks the pins.
Oh,
let's flip
so
it.
That's
right. I'll flip it real quick.
Okay, I was gonna say we loaded it the wrong way. I'm gonna read the chat over here. Let's see.
Yeah, but
Got some familiar faces in here, people I regularly see in the videos and in the comments. A lot of people asking to please keep the video like on the channel, so I'll definitely be doing that. It'll be one that people can, you know,
work with.
yeah, people will be able to go back and watch it. I don't have room nor want to deal with the chemical waste, but I'd love to. Did it at school ages ago. Yeah, I mean, honestly, if people have a public place that they can go to, I almost feel like that's even more ideal because you don't have to deal with storing everything, literally having the space to do it. If people have access to a local darkroom, like take advantage of it, you know?
Yeah, and the biggest pitfall of having your own home darkroom is the chemicals all don't go bad at the same time.
Right.
They kind of cascade through, and if you hang it up for a couple months, half your stuff might not work anymore.
Exactly.
You have to manage things, and if it's not, God forbid, it's not labeled. Then
Right.
what do you do?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
really rough. So,
And that someone actually, they just asked about why I sold my Pixma Pro 10, and it kind of ties into that. I was regularly doing inkjet prints at home because I couldn't do the darkroom anymore. I still wanted to be able to print, and I was running through certain inks more than others and trying to figure out which ones to keep stocked up on and paper and pretty much everything. You know, it's it's nice being able to outsource everything when it comes to that. So
Well, this guy is loaded up.
Perfect.
Let's go ahead and flip the light on, but
Yep.
let's see if the real magic happens. I'm going to
Yeah.
turn the lights, and let's see if you guys can see Matt working.
yeah, and actually see what's happening here. All right.
Okay. Oh, so
So-
we're already previewed.
So we're already previewed.
So let's get our
Yeah, so this-
probably our focus going.
Yeah, so this is the 450. This one is a little different than what I used at home. So you've got your focus.
So this guy has
That's-
a
this one's on the-
motorized focus.
Okay.
So we select focus and elevation. Elevation is mechanical, so we have our focus here. And
Okay.
then we're just going to hit up and down on the little lever, and that'll get us in the ballpark, and then we can do fine focus.
Okay,
It's about to
gotcha.
get loud.
Yeah.
There she comes.
Nice. Okay, so
Oh man, it's almost perfect.
I was gonna say I tried to stop it at the right moment.
That's great. I think we just might need to go up a little bit.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're already getting it. So.
All right. So we can yeah. Dial it in there. Go up some or down.
Nice and orange. That's how it should be.
That's how it should be. Yeah.
These are OC safe lights. They are very orange.
Right.
And
All right, and then okay, so the knob on the other side as well.
We'll just feather it up a bit. You always like got to get started and then like get there.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
So we're in the ballpark, but we got to confirm that focus. Oh, let's raise it up a bit so we're not staying outside the edges. So if you see this little guy here, that's just a little bit of your.
That's
your
the actual
rebate.
border, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is, you've already got the easel set to, is it 7.5 by 7.5? Is that right?
I won't guarantee it's perfect, but
Well,
it's, yeah.
roughly. Yeah,
Square-ish,
we're working
yeah.
with a square. Okay,
Yeah,
perfect,
Cool.
perfect.
And let's
Yeah, let's check focus here. Let's see where we're at.
What Matt's doing right now is he's putting down the grain focuser.
And so with this knob on the right or
Yep.
left?
They
they're
do the
both same.
thing.
Okay,
Yeah,
because
so
it's.
you just check your fine focus. It's got to be real close.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say it's.
That looks about it right there.
Yeah. I'm gonna go. I like to, when I think I'm there, I kind of go back and forth a little bit, but I think right there, that's it. Yeah. So what we're actually doing is focusing on the grain of the image and not the image itself. So you know, I'm sure people sometimes, if they're trying to figure out, you know, where do they focus on the enlarger, because maybe what's in focus in the photo itself, that can kind of trick people sometimes, right? Where people think it's in focus, but really, if you're actually using one of these and focusing on the grain itself, you're actually dialing it into, you know, the level of the negative itself. So, yeah, no, this looks like it's good right here.
Cool. And then this goes perfectly with the next question we just got.
Yeah.
Y'all doing test strips?
Yes, it's been it's been several years since I've printed in the darkroom. I'm not about to try and tackle this negative without doing test strips first. So yeah, we are absolutely going to be doing some test strips. Yeah, and we're going to be printing on RC paper. So we're not doing like fiber-based paper or anything. We're just doing some simple RC prints, which is what honestly I printed 99% of the time in the darkroom were all RC prints, and they still look great today.
They dry quick, and even treated badly, they're going to be what, 30 years?
Right. Yeah. They're
great.
pretty tough. They're pretty tough. So yeah, we're going to be working with Ilford's multi-grade 4 RC Pearl, which is that right? Is that what we're working
Yes,
with?
I'm reading these comments and they're hilarious.
Oh,
I'm
really?
So sorry. Someone's like, you guys got a light leak under the door. Absolutely, we totally do. It's actually, so when you're setting up a home darkroom, your rule, really, it's 4 feet.
Yeah.
If you got 4 feet to a tiny little light leak, that's just like trade secret.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. It's
really?
not, unless it's like a laser, you're going to be fine. So if you have 4 feet of diffusion, light from there, you are going to be good.
Really? See, that's interesting. So whenever I set up mine at home, I went to like Lowe's and bought all of the weatherproofing stuff and like completely sealed that door. And every once in a while, I would turn and just as my eyes adjusted, it gets brighter and brighter where that tiny little crack is there. And I never had noticed any issues, but I just assumed I was getting lucky, you know?
If you can start to, if it's pitch black and you can start to see the shape of something, okay, now you're in trouble.
Right.
If it's faint, you're fine.
Yeah.
I've actually souped 8x10 sheets in here, and it's
really
not been
just the film itself. That's wow. That's awesome.
My zen. That's how I meditate. This is one step, and this is just the magic.
Yeah.
So now we have our image.
Yeah.
We're working. Let's see. Lens is wide open right now. It's way too bright for a test strip exposure.
Right.
We're about 25.5 inches. I've printed on this enlarger a bunch.
Yeah.
We probably want a test exposure. You know, we'll leave it to the man here.
I mean, I'll judge with my eyes because, like I said, you know this particular enlarger pretty well. I've never printed on this one before.
I'm guessing 2 or 3 stops down.
Okay.
And about 12 seconds is going to be where we need to be at. So I'm
kind of a good base.
Yeah, I'm at 3 stops down now. It's f16.
Okay.
We're set for 12 seconds. That way we can do a 4-8-12 or 3-6-9-12.
Okay.
And just kind of strip it right across.
Okay, gotcha. See, so the way I always did the test strips, what I would have I would set it to like 3 seconds, and I would constantly do the stop and start kind of thing. So, but what you're saying right here is actually just letting it go through and move it as I go?
Yes.
Is that right?
I like covering as I go. And
okay.
I just have this little binder with our material safety data sheet. We're OSHA compliant.
Yeah, there you go.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and just kind of
gotcha.
cover like a sheet for the camera. And just, you can uncover or you can cover as you go. But whichever you want to do, let the timer guide you.
Yeah.
Some folks, they find it better when they have the metronome on, but
so it's counting.
That would kill the comments. It would just explode with beeps, beeps, beeps.
Yeah, we don't need to do that with people.
But, and then we just, we can flip it from focus to time.
Right here.
That'll turn us off.
And then the start and reset is right there.
Just hitting the space bar.
Perfect. Now, awesome. See, I can't remember the model of Gray Lab I had that was connected to it. It was obviously really similar, but it wasn't this particular one.
Was it gray and had one knob?
Yeah.
That's the Gray Lab 300. Or 300. It's
350?
350.
Okay, yeah.
I was like, every school had it.
I was gonna say that's. I remembered seeing it whenever I was on eBay. I was like, that's the one they had at the university, so I'll just buy that one. We got some good comments coming in.
Oh, Tom's like going to bat for us.
Is he? Good. Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so the way our darkroom's laid out, most darkrooms, by the way, you want to lay out, have a dry side and a wet side. You don't want to cross the streams, and especially when we've got electronics in here now. Yeah,
we literally have a camera mounted directly above the tray of developers. So.
Don't worry, it's not ours.
Right.
These are just like Lowe's cabinets from down the street.
Yeah.
What's great about these is I can have a paper safe right here.
Yeah.
So right underneath here, we have our Ilford paper. And then the paper safe, that's just this little clamshell box. It's got an extra set of layers. We can hide our sheets in
right.
And then just pull them out as need be. So
yeah, this is literally the same kind of setup. I had like regular home cabinets in my bathroom and put a countertop over it. Yeah, it made everything so much easier.
Well, we're getting there with the countertop.
Yeah.
We're rough and unfinished.
Right. No, that's great.
So we'll take the bag out. Oh, by the way, so for folks that haven't traditionally printed before, most of your printing paper is going to come in these clamshell style boxes. Paper usually has 2, and film, like large format film sheets, will have 3.
Right.
So it'll have a top, a bottom, and another top. And then on the inside, there's this lovely black bag. This bag on its own is not tight.
Yeah, you can't just,
Please don't mail your film like this.
Yeah.
And then inside here, we got the good stuff. So this is our RC Pearl. I like printing with Pearl, honestly, because if it's matte, I'll have the hardest time figuring it out.
Which side is which?
Yeah,
right.
Because then it would also be matte and matte, print matte.
That's too many. It's just too many.
It's already too many. All right, so
perfect.
Got that.
Yes, sir.
Test strip in. I'm just going to hide this in the drawer
so
you know where it's at.
Absolutely.
Save these for our handy dandy burn tools.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Cool.
All right, and so this easel here looks like this is the kind where it has kind of a built-in.
Yep, the little guidelines. And this
Guideline.
has a lock up here. It's fancy.
Oh,
Look at that.
okay.
And yeah, you can pinch it in, or I just like to rock it.
Oh, yeah.
So you can just
So start on one end and
pinch it in, and then whichever side you pick, commit to it.
stick to that side.
Stick to that side,
Otherwise,
or else your borders are going to be all over the place.
right. Okay, well, we're gonna work. We're just gonna make sure it's to the left there then.
Cool. All right, and then just kind of push this guy up till you
To
hit
release
play.
the lock.
There you go.
Gotcha.
So what Matt's doing with the framing here is this is just a printing easel. What this does is you can set distances, and these little blades will cover in an attempt to give you a nice little border.
Yeah, you get a good clean edge on everything. It's just not going to look sloppy, which whenever I had my darkroom, I filed my negative carrier to have that like rough.
The grindy edges.
Yeah, which is just, it's a personal preference thing. But I think for this kind of shot, that good clean edge, and especially considering the 120 film, the border, I think it looks better having a nice clean edge to it. You know what I mean?
Sometimes Hasselblad, you gotta see those triangles.
Yeah. You know it was a
Hasselblad.
Hasselblad shot,
Yes.
right.
Exactly.
All right, so we've got the
Just
little.
use-
Yeah, for sure. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start it, and as it goes, I'll cover as I go in.
Yeah, and the
Three-
closer you
3
are to the
seconds.
paper, the sharper that's gonna be.
Right.
That cover.
Yeah, if I were to kind of feather it up here, it would be
It's
a
just
much
very soft
softer.
and almost impossible line. And since you're never going to go the whole distance, you can just use the wide side of it.
Yeah,
Also,
yeah. All right,
Hit that space bar.
here we go. So 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Dang.
There we
You
go.
always have a job as a clock.
All right, so now we have our test strip here. So we're going to be able to take this, load it into the tray here.
Do the honors, sir.
Yeah, so we're working right here. How wide is this shot? Does it
So our shot, this will also give our techs out there time
to catch up?
get the camera ready.
Yeah. So let's
We
see.
have a pretty wide shot. We have a develop and stop and just a hair into the fix. So they should have a chance to see all of it come through.
Okay, cool.
And
Awesome.
Yeah.
Looks
Okay.
like
So they're on the wide shot. And we're
Yeah.
just like standing there.
There we
Oh,
are.
Man,
Here we
they're
go.
on it.
They are
All
on it.
Let me
All
get
right.
60 seconds on the clock.
Sure thing.
And let's do this.
Let's go. We are in. All right.
Now, are you a rocker? Are you hands-on? What do you like?
I am a rocker. I grab the bottom right corner here and I just gently rock this thing. Now, normally if I were home, I would have like explosions in the sky playing in the background, and it was just the most relaxing time ever. That was it. I kind of saved it for Sundays usually. Whenever I had the darkroom at home, every Sunday I would just kind of make that day to be at home, catching up on developing, making any prints, and such a good time. It's one of the best, just relaxing kind of things ever.
I just love this part. This never gets old.
No,
I've
and
done
that's the
this
thing. You've done it.
thousands of times,
Yeah.
and it's always magic.
I feel like you hear that a lot about people with darkroom printing, where you first put it through the bath, and then also people that shoot tintypes. They the first time they run it through and the image actually comes through there, that's when they're like that
That's real.
that first
Yeah.
time it comes through,
It's all over.
it never gets old.
Cool.
Yeah.
So the reason, of course, we have safe lights. The paper we're using
Right.
is RC paper.
Mm-hmm.
We have a safe light because it doesn't see all the colors of light.
Yeah.
We can pop in the fix now.
Yeah,
Only
yeah.
about 10 seconds in there.
Yeah.
This stuff sees blue and green light and different combinations of it.
Right.
And that's why we can change the contrast and get different looks.
And so a lot of people, if they're used to shooting film, they tend to like figure it out, fairly quickly.
Yes.
But people outside of the photography world, whenever you tell someone that you develop film at home, they automatically assume, oh, you have like the red lights
You got
just for
everything.
developing. You know what I mean? Whereas that's for printing the work. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Whereas people they think, oh, you've got the red lights at your house and stuff to develop your film, which
That's what our stream tile should have been.
yeah.
Developing film in that weird red room.
yeah, from Stranger Things thing. Yeah.
Keep it topical. Well, this is looking pretty cool, Matt.
Yeah,
Oh,
this is
man.
awesome. I'm excited to see what people are saying in the chat. And all right, so for the fix, especially since it's a test strip, we don't have to do a ton
And
of.
this is super fresh fix.
Right, so
if we
it's-
get excited, we can pop these lights on now and see what
Yeah,
happens.
yeah,
So
let's do it.
Let's do it.
All
Thank
right.
goodness for auto ISO.
Right, I know. That's what I was just thinking. I was like, oh, are we gonna have to?
No, we're good. So
Awesome.
we're a little hot.
A little
That's-
bit.
That's okay.
A little bit.
So,
Yeah.
You know, since we counted down and covered as we went.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get this so everybody can see it.
Right. Right.
So we have. This is 3 seconds.
Mhm.
Or, yeah, 3 seconds. 6, 9, 12. Roasted, toasted, burnt to a crisp.
Yep.
Here we're getting some good stuff.
That's what I was.
6.
That's the first thing that jumps out. Highlights are a little hot.
Yeah.
But you're getting still plenty of good detail.
And nothing's getting
enough.
too muddy.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like you can still see detail, which personally I like my shadows to go a little darker, but this right here would be too dark for me.
Oh, definitely.
So I know, I still want the information there, but yeah.
And for photographers out there that want to get pretty close to straight prints in the darkroom, when you're seeing this kind of action, man, there's not much more to do on the highlights because you're already getting separation between that border
Right.
and this. And we're so close.
We're real close there, yeah.
We start the bidding at 6 seconds and then start adding variables from here. I think we'll be good to go.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
And then
So we're going to drop this in the wash.
yeah, let's
All
do
right.
it. All right.
Now you probably don't want to get fixer fingers.
No, not
Some
really.
shop towels. You
Yeah.
know those very well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now I like to do a technique in the darkroom called wet hand, dry hand.
Oh yeah.
It usually doesn't work.
Right.
You got to remember which one stays wet, which
Right.
one stays dry. I usually do the Michael Jackson thing.
Yeah.
That usually works. Let's see.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I think that would be good in the 6-second range. Yeah.
6 seconds is a good amount of time.
I'll say, do we have any questions or anything we can address before we go dark again?
Oh
And
man, they've gone down some rabbit holes. We got people talking about lift printing. Oh, that's Amanda. Amanda, welcome. Thank you. It's so good seeing you. Yeah, I miss
That's
your pink
awesome.
hair, Amanda. Anyway, let's see. People talking about pinhole. They're just hype. They're
yeah,
about it.
that's good.
That's
That's
what this is
good.
about.
That's
We're
what I
just
like to.
creating something.
I was gonna say I like to see the conversation happening.
Now, folks can't see this print quite yet. Maybe
Right.
from a wide shot. but
Right.
Contrast-wise, I'm actually pretty surprised. We haven't used any filtration,
Nothing yet.
and it looks pretty decent.
Yeah.
I would say let's get a rough print. You're not paying for this paper. So
No. This is all.
let's let it ride. Let's do a straight print at 6 seconds.
Yeah.
And see where it's
What
hard
stand-
to evaluate everything from one 3D strip.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
Yes, it saves money, but at the end of the day, film is cheap.
Yeah.
Paper is cheap.
Paper's cheap.
Let's just make a print. So,
Yep.
Cool.
Let's do it.
Take the lights.
All right. So now we're still set
Check the
there.
settings.
Yeah. So I'm gonna dial this back while I'm thinking of it to 6. Right. That's
Yep,
6
6
seconds.
seconds.
That's
Yeah.
not 60.
Oh, that has been done many times.
I.
before.
That's what I
So
figured.
the right-hand side is your seconds or tenths of seconds. And then
Right.
this one is your whole or your tenths.
That's what I was thinking. Okay. Just wanted to be sure. All right. Oh, looks like there were a couple bags in there. I brought both bags out.
Someone's already asking us to do split grade printing. We've
Oh.
advanced a tier.
I was gonna say, yeah, you gotta learn to
We gotta get it.
learn to crawl before you can walk, right?
Yes. Yeah, but this is good. People bring up so many different things.
Yeah.
Get those going on.
See, if people want us to make this a regular thing, something that we do more frequently, or even just like you were saying, something that you can do and bring in different people here into the darkroom.
Yeah, this is the closest in a darkroom we can get to comedians in a car.
Yeah,
Coffee.
exactly. Yeah. If you could turn this into a show with other photographers coming in and printing and talking, I think that'd be great. All right, so I'm going to the left side like I did last time,
Perfect.
just to be safe.
That's
All right,
great.
right there. So I think we're good.
We're good.
All right, let's do it. Right there.
So speaking of which, what are you up to lately? What are you shooting a lot of?
Lately, it's been a lot of Mamiya 6, actually. Which I got from here at Midwest. And I had never shot with the 6 before. It was honestly meant to be just, hey, try this camera out and borrow it for a couple weeks and we can make a YouTube review out of it. And I think I put one roll through it and I texted Ken and I said, hey, I'm going to hang on to this, so I'd like to
But
buy it.
Don't you kind of think that we were like, this is the rescue dog of the camera community? Like, oh, he doesn't have a home.
Right.
Just take him home for
And-
one night
and
and see how you feel.
Anybody that knows me knows that that's the easiest way to get me to commit to something. So, You know, the 2 kids wasn't enough. We've got 3 dogs and a cat, so
Oh my
I'm an
goodness.
easy target, I think, when it comes to
So-
stuff. So I'd like to think that I've given the Mamiya 6 a good home, you know. So
Absolutely.
so that's really what I've been shooting a lot of lately. Mamiya 6 for color. If I'm putting a color through it, I'm usually shooting Lomography 800.
Nice.
I've just fallen in love with that film completely.
You jazzed about that new stuff?
The Metropolis.
Yeah.
So I haven't shot any yet. I don't know how I feel about it. It's a very different look. I'm excited that Lomography is pushing things and they're trying, you know,
Just doing something.
they're doing
Yeah.
something, you know,
Yeah.
and I admire them for that a lot. In recent years, the stuff they've done with different instant cameras, like it's awesome to see them that they're clearly passionate about it, you know, and they're just trying to do different things. I personally don't know if that kind of color that comes from that film stock, if that's really for me. But, you know, it's something new. So I haven't personally shot any yet. I mean, their Kickstarter was funded like immediately,
Yeah,
basically.
18 seconds.
Yeah. So, but the Lomo 800, I've been thoroughly enjoying. So, I've been shooting a lot of that, and then any black and white film, it's mostly been Delta 3200. I've actually I haven't shot HP5 in a while, which is odd for me, but the Delta 3200 in medium format is like everything I want in my black and white film. I love the grain, the contrast is great. If I was shooting HP5, I was usually pushing it to 1600 or 3200.
It's already there.
Yeah, and it's clean, but I kind of like that heavier grain of Delta 3200.
Yeah. And isn't it amazing how it changes when you jump up a format?
So
you
different.
You could hate a film, and then you try it bigger, and you're like, oh, no, this is great.
Now it's great, yeah, but in the other format, it can look completely different.
Well, we are holding a little bit of detail up in the sky,
Yeah.
which is pretty surprising.
Yeah, so like initial reaction just from seeing it is I would want to burn this sky.
Get that down.
Yeah, a lot of the like burning that I did in my own darkroom, it was.
Take it to the tray camera.
What's that?
Put it under the tray.
Oh, put it under the tray. Oh, yeah. Sitting here talking about it, and you can't even see it. So, thank you, Ken. So whenever I would be printing in the darkroom, it was almost inevitable that any time I would make a print that the sky was in it, that was my first thing. I'd burn the sky. I like
Just
having,
get that down.
I like having the detail there. And this was, I mean, you're looking right here is where the sun was setting.
Yeah,
so that's
just-
really hot
that's
there.
we're not going to get that.
No.
But we have a chance at what's up here.
Right. All of this information here in the clouds as the sun was setting, there's still information there. And I like being able to see that defined edge
Nice
between
edge.
the white border and the sky there itself.
Cool.
But honestly, for the shadows, I really like where that's at.
Are we going hashtag no filter on this?
I mean, we could go there because,
Yeah.
you know, I like the sky being burned. Like, I know that that's going to look better for me. But in all honesty, for the shadows, it was dark out when I shot this.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely that very end Civil Twilight.
Yeah, so it's like, you know, I wouldn't want it to look like I shot this at, 4 in the afternoon. I want it to kind of fit that feel because you're going to be able to see that the sun was low. And I think brightening this up too much, it might start to teeter towards that HDR look.
Sure.
And, so...
Great. Well, let's get Mr. Burn Card in there. Now, did you use burn cards or did you use your hands?
I used my hands, yeah.
Have you ever used a burn card?
No.
Can I show you how?
Let's do it, yeah.
Alright,
Because I looked like I was, a poor magician or something
What
trying
if I told you there was an easier way? All right, so we're gonna flip the lights off.
Yeah.
Could you hit the focus button or the?
Flip it over to focus?
Yep.
Yeah.
So we're gonna practice this first because
Okay.
it's so much easier to practice with a burn card.
Right.
So here's what the problem with doing it with your hands. You have to you're playing finger puppets.
And you're trying to,
and You're trying not to cover this area and just let a little bit in. And consistency can be really tough.
Yeah. Especially when you're trying to do the same image, 4 or 5 times, and they all look just a little bit different.
Exactly. Now this is a trick I learned from an awesome photographer. His name was Alan Ross.
Okay.
He's out in Santa Fe, New Mexico. He was Ansel Adams' assistant in the late 70s and early 80s.
Damn.
He's the man.
Yeah.
He taught me a lot of things in a short period of time, but one of the big takeaways is just a quick little burn card. Like
Yeah.
this. So when you're using this burn card, it's just a box with a hole in it.
Yeah.
And when you're using it, what you're burning, what you're letting come through, you're going to hold it against this light that's projected here.
So you can literally watch.
You just watch the dark things fall through.
Wow.
That's it. And if you want to burn a bigger area, you
Get
just pull it up.
closer. Oh, dude.
And now we can see.
I was
just
gonna
that
say now
little
you're
bit is hidden.
covering. Yeah.
And you can just let that
Just
run
the sky
through
there.
and just kind of count it. So like 1,001, 1,000, because you have to make sure it's hitting all those areas for that count. So
Right. Right.
you wave it, and the big thing is you keep it moving. Because when you're doing shadow puppets, it's really easy to make those forms.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. That is
Give it a
interesting. I was gonna
practice.
say I'm gonna try and get a feel for it here.
Yeah.
So I can bring it closer. It looks like I'm covering more. That is really interesting. Yeah, see, I would have never tried something like that. So now, as I'm going, I mean, if I'm going back and forth like this, is that too fast? Should I make it slower?
Basically, you just want to go to the pace where you're not holding it still.
Okay.
I find a little bit slower forces me to be more consistent, but just get a
Right.
rhythm going. And the other thing here is this allows you to jump in and get those areas in here if you need to burn.
Yeah, yeah.
You have so much more control, but
I was gonna
burning
say,
is a long process.
just this one individual hole gives you a lot of flexibility for
All these
anywhere on the
details.
image. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not just, because a lot of times some of the tools I would make, it would be kind of catered towards like just the sky or just
Sure.
the horizon and up, whereas something like this, you can really kind of finesse this into any little cracks.
Yeah.
And
I mean, and really, since we have a sky and we have a horizon, you can just
right, yeah,
ta-da.
yeah,
But
yeah.
if you want to get this edge and you don't want that haloing effect,
Yeah.
you can start here, go a little bit heavier on the top, and then bring it back for the
Yeah,
end of
yeah.
the exposure.
Okay, yeah.
Cool. So usually the starting point for a burn for me is a stop, maybe even 2 stops over what our base exposure is.
Okay.
Since we're already seeing detail, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So I bet if you do a 6 count in that sky, you're gonna have plenty to work with.
That's kind of what I was thinking. Yeah. So for this, for people who haven't burned, what we would want to do is basically make our exposure all the way 6 seconds and let it go, and then do it again afterwards, after the fact.
And you don't have to hit the timer. You can just hold this is the best part about the card.
Yeah.
Pull it up, turn it
Oh.
on, and count it out by
And
hand, and then flip the switch.
Without, okay, yeah. That way I'm not, if I mess
Racing,
up, I'm not
yes.
losing time on the countdown. Okay,
Yeah.
that's
Alright,
interesting.
So while we're getting this set up, I'm gonna read you some questions.
Yeah, let's do it.
Some quick ones. Let's see. Should use a scrap piece of paper under the grain focuser. Scrap piece of paper is nice for helping you see it on the baseboard. Since we have a very light darkroom and yellow on the baseboard, yellow gives us just as much reflectance as
Right.
white.
Yeah, I always kept a spare piece because mine was pretty dark. But in here, I mean, this is a lot more comfortable to work in than my darkroom was.
This closet's comfortable.
Yeah.
So next question. Let's see. How large can you go with 35 millimeter?
I get asked that question a lot. And so I feel like a lot of that kind of comes down to personal preference based on the grain. Some people, if they really blow it up and that grain becomes even more pronounced, they might think, that doesn't look as clean. I printed up to 16 by 20 in my darkroom from 35, and I thought it looked great. Like, I was happy with it. It was just RC pearl paper like we're using here. It was just bigger sheets,
Sure.
So, I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
35, I'd say, yeah, 16-20 for those special shots. You have minimal grain kind of coming in.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't, it wasn't something that I thought I would want to do all the time, but for certain shots that came out really clean, obviously if maybe the exposure was a little rougher, blowing it up that big, you might start to notice more
exaggerate those things.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
But I've seen, I went to this awesome show at International Center of Photography in New York City, and I saw some Elliott Erwitz that were 40 by 50. They were drum scanned, and cleaned
yeah.
up, but they were still optically printed, and they were gorgeous.
That's
so It
amazing.
really just doesn't, I mean,
I'm very
it's your
jealous you got to
preference.
see that. That's
It was amazing.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
really lucky. I was,
a lot of people have asked like why we named our son Elliot, and I thought of the name because he's one of my all-time favorite
wow, I didn't know
photographers.
that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and let this go.
Let's do
The
base
first
exposure.
6 seconds. So that's gonna go ahead, get that set in. All of our shadows and things like that are gonna be kind of already taken care of. Now I can flip this to whoops. Did that
yeah, that's
flip?
all right. You just flashed it. That's
Yeah, I flashed it. So wait, I flipped that
So,
to.
so bring the box up.
then flip it over.
Then flip it. So now you're covering it.
Right. I was gonna say, I'm like, wait, I did something wrong there.
You're good.
So,
So maybe not a 6 count anymore, but just like a 4 or 5
4,
count.
yeah, for sure. It was quick enough, I think.
All right. Everyone is hyped on this stream, so I don't know, Matt. We might have to have you bring some more stuff back.
All right.
Maybe next time you can bring 4x5 and we can show them our diffusion enlarger.
Yeah. All right.
Cool.
We're gonna try that. We're gonna see how that goes. I'm not totally confident in how I did that, but you know, we're gonna find out. All right. So, should I give them a second to?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Toss it in.
All right.
It's right at the 0 line.
Perfect.
Man, this is. I'm still kind of floored because like I had a dream about this.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like I mentioned earlier, I've never seen this done before, so. Okay, so just from looking at it here, see, I feel like I might have gone too quick whenever I was going across it. I think I could have gone a little bit slower, yeah, to really let that light hit it.
And we can try, you know, the old school, just move the hand and
Yeah.
play around with some different ways. I like the card for really tricky stuff.
Yeah.
I'm always shooting those frickin' trees.
I was going to
and
say,
rocks
the
and
stuff
water.
that you shoot is a lot more intricate with all of the different light there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this will be interesting to see. What are we at on time?
You got about 15 seconds.
Yeah. But yeah, man, it's so funny though, because as we were kind of setting up, I was like, Matt, you're probably going to have to cue me through some of this stuff because it's been so long, but after you kind of get back into the rhythm,
it's riding a bike.
Yeah, it really yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, no, I think if you turn this into, I mean, you summed it up, the comedians in cars getting coffee. That is literally exactly what this is.
In the developer tray.
Yeah. I mean, you seriously, like, this is perfect, man.
Cool.
This is the kind of stuff I would watch myself.
Well, I think
maybe
these
not
guys
with
have to
me
let
in
us
it,
know
but
if they want to see.
yeah, I was gonna say if
content.
people are into this, they'll want to call Midwest Photo. The phones will be no, don't call Midwest Photo,
You
but
can call me, it's fine.
but yeah, I was gonna say let them know because this is the kind of stuff that I love seeing. You know,
the other kind of thing is like, could you imagine if the greats had access to these tools?
And just being a fly on the wall, hearing them
just going about it.
Yeah.
Watching Ed Weston kick cats out of his darkroom, and you know, because he's a bit of a hermit. And,
Right.
Just like,
that'd be
you
amazing.
Really just kind of see it happen, not like this manufactured thing that everybody has seen the same thing.
I know,
Yeah.
and honestly, that's part of just having my own YouTube channel in general, being like a one-man band. It's tough at times, and I'm always trying to think of like, how could I make this into a show that I would want to watch? You know what I mean? And I have ideas, and then I think I need a whole crew to help me
Could you
piece
imagine?
things.
You don't even have to get your clothes smelling to do what you do in the darkroom. You can just like you can binge it.
Exactly.
All right, let's put the lights on. See if
Yeah.
everybody can see what's going on.
Yeah, let's
here.
bring this back over in front
I'll
of.
hold it 'cause I got some gloves.
Thank you.
All right, I'm already seeing a big difference in our sky.
Yeah.
More noticeably in those shadow areas, we're getting a little bit more. But we can already see we got some of this corner coming in. We have this corner.
That line is starting to get more defined.
I bet if you do like double what you did before,
That's
you're
what
really going to get
That's
more.
what I was just thinking. What I am probably going to do is take that lid, like we did before, but bring it on the edge and just kind of feather that in just on the top. Probably, I mean, I don't know, we might, depending on that, using that method, we might lose some detail in these posts, but honestly, they're dark posts that are backlit against the sky. There's not a ton of detail in there anyway, and I'm okay with losing that, especially since down here, it's going to kind of mirror, you know, the reflection there.
Sure.
So,
yeah, actually,
you know,
that'd be pretty.
yeah, I mean, these reflections there of the posts, they're a lot darker than the actual posts themselves. So I feel like if some of these, if that detail was lost, I'm not as particularly, you know, concerned about that.
Cool. All right, well, let's do it.
Let's try that.
Let's get it in there.
All right, make sure we're set back to
let's go back
time.
to the,
Yeah, back to the chat.
chat. You guys are YouTube trailblazers. Thanks, Colin.
This is all Matt. I expected an iPad and like the iPad's built-in camera on the front of it. Then I walk in and you've got a whole setup running. I was blown away when I walked in and saw this.
I'm just glad it's happening. This
Yeah,
is so cool.
for real.
Man.
I know, and honestly, like, I didn't post anything about this because I wasn't sure all the details of like where it's being uploaded and or streamed, and
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was on my channel, on your channel, and
We really just like, this is about as slapped together.
we threw it
as we
together
can.
pretty quick. And honestly, now I'm thinking like, man, imagine if it was, I mean, I have no idea how many people have been watching, but the fact that people are watching, I'm just excited because I didn't know how it would go.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead. Yeah, go for it.
I'm just gonna hit some questions.
Yeah.
Paper we're using is RC paper. So RC is resin coated. That means there's plastic in it. It helps it dry faster. It's also a thinner emulsion, so it's not going to withstand the test of time near as much
Right.
as your fiber-based prints, but they require less washing, way less drying. We actually have a heated dryer. You could use a hair dryer at home. You can use all sorts of things to throw that thing off.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, you were going totally zen. You went mute. You're like,
Oh,
"Nope, it's time to print."
Yeah. I kind of just blacked out there and just went for it. Yeah, we'll see. I might have gone a little heavy on it, but I honestly kind of like that. Again, I like that really defined edge.
Yeah, it's coming in quick.
Yeah, yeah.
I can already see the difference between the highlight and the white.
Right, I know that's what I'm looking at. If I can see that edge in this light, then that's a good sign for me.
Now, how do you feel about calling it in the tray? Like, are you okay talking about it now, or you're like, no, it's all BS until I turn the lights on?
I mean, I can usually get a good feel for it once it's in the tray, but I would never, like, in the middle of developing think, nope, that's not it, and then toss it and start over. I would at least wait until I can get the lights on and see it before. Yeah. But I feel like that comes down to experience. If I was printing nonstop in the darkroom, I feel like I could probably train my eye even more. Yeah, yeah.
Got the last 5 seconds.
Okay, cool.
I don't know. I think I already like where this is at.
That's kind of what I'm thinking, because I don't want it to look, I don't want the sky to be, dark gray or anything. I want it to have that look. I was shooting directly into the sun, so I still want it to look natural, but if I can see that defined edge there, I'm usually pretty happy with that, just so it doesn't get lost in the composition of, you know what I mean? I want to be able to see where the print is.
Let's see, RC paper's nice and zippy.
Yeah, definitely.
Looks too dark. Well, the lights are off.
Yeah.
Let's go fix.
Yeah, I was gonna say it'll be easier to see with our eyes
with
right now.
Light,
yeah, it's easier for us to see than what you're seeing from the camera for sure.
These cameras are pretty ridiculous. I don't know.
The fact that this is even possible. I mean, we're using modern photography technology to work in the darkroom and live stream it. So this is a nice blend of
Full circle.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know how it is.
We should go hardcore. We'll get next time. We'll get some X-ray goggles, or and then we'll develop sheet film inspection.
I was gonna say do some trade. So after I took your workshop on 4x5, I got a Crown Graphic shortly after that.
Yes.
And then I would develop everything in my bathroom before. So I was still living at home with my parents. I didn't have my darkroom set up. So I would just basically duct tape blankets over the windows and do all of that stuff. And I would tray process everything by hand in complete darkness. And then years later, they started making things that you could put in the Patterson tanks, and
it's
like
so easy now.
Yeah, I know. And back then, I was like, man, I had these little I'd set up a fold-out table in my parents' bathroom, and
and people don't, we're in a post-YouTube. We're like, YouTube's here. It's not going anywhere.
Right.
It's where you kind of learn. They're seeing this.
Yeah.
It was so hard, even 10 years ago.
So different, man. So
Everything.
different.
Here we go.
There you go. You got it. Thank you. Yeah.
Man, that's really nice.
Yeah.
Just those couple seconds waving in and
Right.
out. We've gained all this.
Yeah. Like I said, it's still light. It doesn't look dark, but it's just enough to see that fine edge there.
And we had a YouTube commenter say,
Yeah.
it is going to get a smidge darker when it's dry.
When it's dried.
The wet print is always the brightest because it's a pearl. It's a semi-gloss.
It's like a reflective in a way.
Yeah, so it's giving back light, but it's giving back even more when it's wet.
Right.
So if you judge the wet print and it's perfect.
Yeah, then it might be a little dark. Yeah.
Can we swap batteries on Matt Day's
Mike, is the mic out?
It's starting to die.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Sure thing.
All right.
Got
I'll get
that. 1 minute. Actually, Northern Ireland. Yeah, we've got everybody here. This is amazing.
Cool. I'm gonna check that mic.
Yeah, sure thing. Make sure we're good to go. See the live stream here.
Cool.
Seattle, Sarasota, Florida.
Yeah, any shout outs you want to do? I mean, we're here, we're live.
Yeah. So yeah, someone asked, well, Phil asked if that was one of the Lomo 800 photos, and looks like Caesar mentioned. Yeah, so same subject as that Lomo 800 shot. I went and basically just did a quick little loop around my house one evening at sunset. The light was perfect, and I just hopped in the truck and made a quick little photo drive. That's like, when you have 2 toddlers, your photo trips become like quick little bite-sized ones whenever you can
Very
fit it.
calculated
Yeah,
little- yeah.
right. And so yeah, the light was just, it was amazing. And hopped in the truck and I threw Lomo 800 in the Pentax and Delta 3200 in the Mamiya. And I shot several of the scenes like side by side, just one black and white, one color. Yeah. So I overall I liked the color shots more. But wanting to make a black and white print, I was really happy with how that one turned out. So that was kind of why I wanted to print that one over, some other recent ones. And honestly, I've been shooting way more color this year than I have probably ever. I mean, whenever I was like a teenager and I was just shooting whatever Walgreens branded film that I could get. But for years I was shooting like 99% of everything was black and white. This year I've kind of transitioned and I'm way more interested in shooting color, and it's been different because anytime
I just know you as a black and white guy.
I know, and so it's weird too because people would ask me about it and I would kind of say like I have a hard time shooting color.
Mm-hmm.
And people would ask like why or how do you have a hard time, like what's hard about it. But I think you start to kind of get stuck into looking at things in black and white, looking for the way basically you're seeing that contrast there in a composition.
Well, that's all you have.
You see the shape, and it's like now I'm attaching like certain mood or emotion to different colors and like the way colors are complementing each other, and it's so different for me because it's something I've never really like worked on or like tried to practice, you know what I mean? And this year I feel like I've just been practicing and trying.
You have to. That's the thing, because you've done black and white for so long.
Years, yeah.
You might start. I find when I switch to color after a long period. I tried that last year.
Yeah.
And I say tried because I don't really think I succeeded.
that's kind of how I felt. Yeah.
Yeah, because you go back from that black and white. You undo the desaturate, and oh holy crap, it's.
Yeah, this should have been a black and white photo. Yeah, you have to turn off a certain part of your brain, I think, and yeah, you just have to practice. Like, I've shot way more color this year than I have black and white, and there's definitely a lot of garbage in there for sure. But you got to practice. You got to get the reps in for sure.
So I want to just address a few things. So
yeah, absolutely.
This darkroom space. I think anybody could set up something like this.
Absolutely.
This is a small space. If you have a walk-in closet at home,
I can be touching basically, the wet side where all the trays are and the wall right here. Yeah. I mean, it's not a massive space by any means.
You can make a darkroom, I think, in about a 16-20 square foot cube. You
yeah.
really can.
Oh yeah.
Because all you have to have is flow,
mm-hmm.
and by that we mean 4 foot from the door, get to the enlarger, and then the flow from there.
You build a rhythm.
Heads out of the room.
Yeah.
Yep. And if you can do that. I've seen people do it on carts where they only have this tiny space.
Yeah, and they
go right through.
It's perfect. Yeah, if you don't have the space this way, work with the space this way. You know, just work with whatever space you have and try to.
Before.
Yeah.
You can do so many things with it, and these are, yes, there are some pretty high-end materials here, but
it doesn't have to be.
You can start with a light bulb.
Yeah, I mean,
really
honestly, I've never used them or anything, but I know Intrepid They made
Yes.
some kind of kit that you can basically turn your
Their
Intrepid
camera.
camera into an enlarger.
Sure, 'cause
And
it's just a camera.
exactly.
We have a light source up here. This is our condenser,
Yep.
which just means we have our incandescent bulb.
Yeah.
This is a big piece of glass that focuses the light. This is where, well, our contrast filters, if we use them.
If we needed them.
Too bad we have an expert photographer here. The film gets loaded in here, so it's just reverse. And
Yeah.
then it's going through our lens, which has an
And you're just projecting, yeah.
And there's our shutter speed, our time. So
Yeah.
it doesn't get easier than that.
No, not at all. And like I said, I've never used any of those, but I look at that and my first thought is, that's great for somebody who just wants to get into it with like a small, compact, simple setup.
Sure.
And even, I mean, whenever I had my darkroom, it was a Bessler 45MX. So it could do 35, 120, or 4x5. The largest I ever did was 6x7 because I didn't have the appropriate lens or carrier to do 4x5.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I paid for that and a bunch of other miscellaneous darkroom stuff for like $100 on Craigslist back in I think I bought it in 2013. And I didn't even have the space for the darkroom yet, but I just was like planning ahead, so it sat in a closet for probably 6 months, and then finally I was able to kind of set everything up. But yeah, I mean, you can find great setups for pretty cheap on.
I always tell folks, don't pay. Like,
Yeah.
There's infinitely more people getting out of it than getting into. Just
That's a very good point.
you
Yeah.
can always, as long as you're ready to drive, maybe even a couple hundred miles, you can probably get
Yeah,
some good stuff.
yeah. Mine was north of Columbus where I bought it. A guy, he actually never even used it in a darkroom. He would project photos that he shot and then trace them on paper and color them in, and it would just do like different art projects like that. So it was never even in an actual darkroom. And I drove, I think, a couple hours north and then loaded it up, and yeah, I mean, you can find them out there.
So I don't know. I'm feeling good about the print.
Mhm.
Whenever I get a good one, my first inclination, make another one.
Yeah.
See if this process is repeatable.
Yeah.
So I would say if you want to, let's do another one.
Yeah.
There was mention earlier, maybe of like, I don't know, you giving one of these prints away.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
that'd be
let's
kinda
make
cool.
one, and yeah, we can give it away
That'd
for
be
sure.
pretty cool.
That'd be awesome.
All right, so let's do another one.
Okay. Same concept. I'll do the initial 6-second exposure, and then I will try to mimic what I did with the burn there.
Okay, personal question.
Yeah.
Matt, are you creating any personal projects at the moment?
So I was literally just talking about this to one of my good friends, Chris Visser, who might still be in the chat there. I was talking to him about it the other night, and it's a personal project on people's belongings, people that have passed away, and what it is they leave behind that people kind of hold on to.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that triggered all of this was when my dad passed away in 2017. I have a lot of photos that I've made of my dad whenever we were out working together. And so my first thought was, doing something with those photos, which I do plan on releasing a book or a zine or something of photos I made when I got to work with my dad. But my personal project, I had all of his belongings. There were things that as soon as I see them and I pick them up, it's like, that's him.
Back.
Exactly. And I became really fascinated with that idea and what it is that we essentially hold on to when people pass away, and what it is that they, what kind of things do they hold on to that makes them think of that particular person, whether it be their parents, grandparents, brother, sister, anything like that. And so I want to make a series of photos just focusing on those physical, inanimate objects that still have some kind of life to them because of the people that people are attached to. So personal belongings, personal spaces, if somebody, maybe someone had like an old garage they always worked in, and if someone steps in there and they think, man, this makes me think of, my grandpa, he was always in here. Little things like that I'm really drawn to, and I kind of have a running list of people that I've talked to and, asked them, would you be willing to let me come in and take photos of this kind of thing for this project? And so I kind of have a running list of different things like that. And it's been pushed back. There have been a lot of things that have happened since then. So
What? Life getting in the way?
yeah, there were a couple things. My mom was sick, then I got sick. It was like one thing after another, and this project just never took off. And I don't want it to just not happen. So I've been kind of working towards scheduling this, and I've thought, how can I make time for this with everything else going on that I'm currently doing, because I want to give it some honest time to really focus on it.
Sure.
And I think I'm just going to share the process of this project with YouTube. I haven't even talked about this actually, but I'm glad someone brought it up because I'll just kind of talk about it now.
Great.
I want to basically make the videos as I'm shooting for this project.
Oh, wow.
Have someone come with me to film the whole process. You know, say whoever it is that is willing to let me come in and photograph their family's, you know, belongings, that kind of thing. Kind of turn it into like a little episodic thing where people can hear their story, you know. If someone says, for instance, one of my mom's best friends, her mom was born in England, she was raised in London, I think, and she has these old teacups, and she has 2 of them, and that was the only thing that her mom would drink her tea out of, were these specific cups. And I talked to her about letting me take photos of that, and she was like, that would be amazing, you know. When anytime I see these in our cupboard, I think of my mom. And I want to be able to dedicate time to shoot the photos, but if I could also make YouTube videos out of it that people can see, they can connect to it and hear people's stories. I'm like thinking like a travel show where people go and they meet the locals and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's people just sharing their story, and I can help tell the story through the YouTube videos as well as a series of photos in the end. So
almost like the anatomy of a project.
yeah,
So,
like I want people to be engrossed in the whole thing and see from start to finish, you know. And at first it wasn't going to be that. It was going to be a very personal thing that I didn't share too much of until I released the photos. Yeah. But, you know, YouTube is like my full-time thing now, and I would like people to be able to see that side of it. So that's kind of what I'm planning on. But
no, that sounds awesome. I just can't wait to see it develop.
that's the thing. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I just need to kind of iron out all the details of filming it. But
now I would say from this one to the last one,
yeah,
this one's more subtle, but it's also more even.
Yeah.
All the
I
way
think,
across.
yeah, I thought on this one, on the first one, I felt like I went a little heavy on one side. Like on towards one of the corners, I think I was a little off skew a little bit. Yeah, that one definitely looks a little more subtle than this here.
All right, I'm going to ask you a very personal question.
Let's do it.
Can I jump in?
Do it. I would love to.
do?
Yes, I would love to see that actually.
Right,
That would be
I'm gonna
amazing.
riff on your print.
No. I want to see that, and I can handle the chat over here.
Okay.
I would be honored for a Matt Marrash print of one of my photos.
That's all right.
I get to keep this one. Is
Okay.
that fair?
That's perfect.
I get to keep your print. I'll give away one of mine. So, let's see. I'm gonna jump on the chat. My dark room is about 6 feet by 5 feet.
Perfect.
See, you can do so much
This
with
is
that.
honestly not even double that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Not even close.
Yeah. I just built my dark room and it's in the cellar. I only have space for 8 by 10 prints though, unless I put the trays on the floor.
Contact prints and 810 and 35 enlargers are perfect
Yeah.
for 810. They're compact.
Absolutely. Let's see. Just need to find a good enlarger in my basement darkroom. We'll be good to go. It says Sean.
Sean, you can email mat@mpex.com. Let me know which lens you're looking for. We have people that are always trying to donate stuff. So
Yeah.
if we can make it work, we are not going to charge.
That would be awesome. Yeah, Sean, let us know. Jamie says, maybe don't look at it if you're afraid of being influenced, but Scott Canterbury Campbell in Lenswork magazine, Evelyn's is a series. I will definitely look that up. I wouldn't mind finding some inspiration at all. And I have a bit of a rough idea of how I want to shoot the project, and, you know, sort of like more on the technical side, you know, the film that I'm using or the cameras, things like that, but I wouldn't be opposed to checking that out. Simon, have you ever done a color print, and how is it different? I've personally never printed color in the darkroom. Matt may have here, but I personally haven't.
That's some madness.
Yeah.
I've attempted color once, but it was badly. My mantra on color is I leave it to the pros.
Right.
If I want to get color, like hand enlarged stuff,
Yeah.
I actually send it to Prouse Productions for Photolab.com.
Okay.
Edgar Prouse, kind of a one-man band.
Yeah, where are they located?
He's right near Kodak. Like you could walk from
Oh, okay.
Kodak's coding facility to
Wow.
his place, and it's an awesome space. He still does color enlargements, and really nice guy to work with.
Nice, nice. Okay, so tell us a little bit about what you did with this particular print. What was your method there? What are you going for?
Let's see if you like it first. No,
Yeah.
so what I did is pretty much the same thing you were doing. I feel like I went a little bit heavier on some of the burn. I also attempted to dodge a little bit down here.
Yeah.
I wanted to open it up, see what happens.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if you try to open it up by hitting a contrast filter, you've added another variable.
Right,
and that extra
right.
variable then gums up the rest of your exposure, and you have to recalibrate.
I was going to say, it's hard to pinpoint exactly what change triggered, if you've got too many things going.
And if you want to learn this process step by step, we do classes here too.
Yeah, yeah.
I do the printing class where we do this exact same thing. It's called our Darkroom 103.
Yeah.
And we're doing that one. The next one is September 13th.
Oh,
so,
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
so
coming
that's
right around
just
the
a little
corner.
over a month away. Looks like Corey Miller, Grains of Silver. He says, "Hey Matt and Matt, late to the party, but can't wait to watch this after work. Glad to see you back in the darkroom after I stole your stuff." Yeah, all of that bezeler that I was talking about and everything, that's currently at Corey's house, which if I'm going to go ahead and just give Corey a shout out, and Corey will be modest and say, oh, it's no big deal, but Corey has a really cool Instagram account. I believe it's at Grains of Silver on Instagram.
That's a good handle.
Yeah, and he kind of just walks through, like, I think it's hashtag Silver Print Sunday. And it's like he walks through the whole process on, different steps that he takes from negative to print, and just kind of
sounds like he would be a really good candidate, and get him in here.
Absolutely. I think that would definitely be a good thing to happen for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see. Spectacular black and white prints. Yeah, I'm excited to see that, Jamie. I appreciate you sharing that with me. I'm excited to check that out. Film Love Photography says, "What developer are you using? It looks super strong." We are working with Dectol. What's the dilution here?
It's just the straight up stock mix, so
Yeah.
1 to 2. So
Okay.
1 part Dectol to 2 parts water. Our temperature's nice and even. We're at about 70 Fahrenheit, or like closer to 21 Celsius. So we're just going the standard 60 seconds in the sauce, 10 seconds in the stop, and at least another minute in the fix.
Right.
It can go a little bit longer, but not too much longer.
Okay, gotcha.
Here we go.
Awesome.
And
let's see
if
it.
we can see a difference.
Yeah,
really.
let's compare here.
So the top is the mat we know and love, and then the bottom is this attempt of mine down here.
Yeah.
So
see, I can tell the difference in the shadows right in here, but it doesn't look. It still looks natural. You know what I mean? It's still subtle enough, and you can see some even in the road. And I actually kind of like the lighter version on yours in the road there, because it's basically being sandwiched in by the field back here, and then the foreground, it pops just a little bit more being lit up, just dodged right there. So I actually really like that.
Cool. All right. Well, here's
That one's
some
mine.
back in,
That one
and
is
this
mine.
one's gonna go right up top. So
Perfect.
I always like to go, first in, first
In
out,
order,
so
right.
take from the bottom and rotate them through.
Sure thing.
Have you ever done that? Multiple prints at once where you're doing the stack?
Yeah. So whenever I would have, like, a lot of times if I were taking photos of, like, at family get-togethers or friends hanging out, I would, it looks like the Canon might have shut out on us.
That was battery. So
Yeah.
I think we're actually this is actually a nice stopping point.
Right.
But let's kind of wrap it up and
Yeah.
maybe stand in front of the camera.
Yeah, for sure. They can cut to that
they
one.
can hear us,
But yeah, no, so at the time I would make 3 or 4 at a time of a certain print if it was something I wanted to give away to friends and family. So I was doing the constant, the juggling act of the stack of prints in the paper tray, or the bath tray,
Trays, yeah.
But yeah, no, this is amazing. I am so glad this actually worked out and turned out
thank
great.
you so much for coming up and
Thanks
on
for
this harebrained scheme of
No,
just us
I
to
mean,
go live from a dark room.
like I said, the fact that we were able to do this, I'm super thankful that we were able to do this on my channel, and I know a lot of people seem to be really into it on there. So I would definitely love to come back and do something like this again with another negative. We got Tom coming in. Okay, so we got another angle here.
This is pro. Yeah.
But it would be cool to have something like this again with a different image. but I strongly recommend Midwest making this a regular thing where you have other people coming in, because I would like to watch it, and I don't plan on watching myself in here, but I would love to see other people
I can
coming
think
in.
of so many photographers that are just, I know them for their black and white,
Right.
and a lot of them, I show them this space and they go, the first thing they say is, oh, I haven't been in the darkroom in years, and they're saying it like it's a spa day.
Right,
you know,
right.
Not that it's in the
Yeah,
darkroom,
yeah.
getting smelly.
But that's the thing. They can come in here and do something that's been a long time. Like I said, it's been, for me, it's been about 3 years. And it's just, you know, like you said, it's like riding a bike. I mean, once I kind of got back in the groove of things, it's like second nature, you know.
Yeah.
But it would be really cool to see other people working in here and just hearing about not only the process of like that particular shot, but just everyday life, you know,
Yeah, or maybe
what
like a
what they're
photo
shooting.
known for, or what they're
Yeah,
doing right
yeah,
now.
exactly. Yeah. I
Maybe
did.
like a contact sheet.
I know.
Yeah.
So I started doing a thing on my YouTube channel called the Photo Breakdown,
I
and
love that.
having other
Yes.
people come in and like, Willem, who was here in the YouTube chat earlier, he has a great YouTube channel as well, and he and I have become good friends recently, and I'm gonna have him on hopefully in the next couple of weeks, and he's gonna be sharing some new work that he hasn't like released anywhere, and kind of talking about, you know, what he likes and what he doesn't like. He's been shooting a lot of 4x5 color stuff, and it's really, really good. He sent me some stuff last night, and I was like, we have to talk about this, because it's,
Great.
yeah, so, but yeah, just being a fly on the wall, hearing people, you know, talk about their work, talk about their process, that's like my favorite thing to listen to, you know. So it'd be great to do it all in here. That would be really cool to see.
Awesome,
So.
man. Well, this has been so great. I've like, again, this was a
A
dream.
literal dream.
Yeah, and now I'm just gonna geek because now it happened. Like,
Right, now
this
you
is-
know
this
it
is the
works.
first.
You
Yeah.
know it works, yeah.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah, there you go. Tom can kind of show a little bit of kind of close up of the space and the prints there, and yeah, I'm super excited about this. So I guess in terms of giving it away,
Yeah.
I'll probably just do it through Instagram, maybe, or maybe.
Maybe throw a hashtag up on it.
Yeah. I'm not really sure. Well, we'll do it on YouTube.
Okay.
You know, people that
Keep it-
people
keep
that
it to the folks
people that showed
put the
up
time
and
in
dedicated
tonight.
time. No, we'll give it
Yeah.
away on YouTube for sure. And
Cool.
anywhere in the world, I always tell people I'll ship it wherever it needs to go. But yeah, leave a comment on this video. I know you've been in the chat. If you're watching this now, leave a comment on the video after it's uploaded, and let's say, you know, next week I'll pick a random winner, and I'll reply to the comment and pin it, so that way you know that your comment was chosen, and we'll get a new print out the door. So awesome. Yeah.
Thanks again.
Dude,
so much, man.
thank
This
you,
has
man.
been- oh my
Super
gosh,
fun,
this
super
is-
fun.
this is
Yeah,
great.
we'll definitely have to do it again. So yeah, I guess I don't know who. I'm assuming Ken is out there.
Mhm.
He can just kind of kill the feed whenever he wants.
Yeah.
We can start kind of packing up our stuff here, maybe. So,
Sure. Yeah.
Awesome.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you guys for
Thanks,
watching
guys.
this. Really appreciate it.
Shoot film.
Yeah.
Some stuff.
Yeah. Print your work. Awesome. All right.
Okay. Cool.
Let's go ahead, and I can't believe this worked as well as it did with
Once it was there.
Once it was there,
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
just this red film over the. So is this like a gel, or is this made specifically for the darkroom?
It's lighting gels. We have a box of scraps for when people are done with the lighting class, and I was like, oh, we got a neutral density and a red. Great.
That's perfect. It worked.
It's just blue light coming off of these.
Yeah, I was gonna say it worked just fine. So now, if people start doing this on a regular basis, we know where they got the idea from.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh man, this is so. All right, so
Pat-
homework. We need to find a